the bigger story is this creation of teams. And I think that we like it. I think it's become one of the more powerful narratives in NBA basketball. The bad side of it is that you end up having some teams that are haves, and then there's a lot of teams that are have-nots, and they're constantly at the bottom of the pile, constantly trying to, tank to get the lottery, get in the lottery and get the number one overall pick and take that can't-miss prospect at the top of the draft. It's a constant cycle, and it's frustrating, right? Think of the Philadelphia 76ers for years. I mean, it felt like forever. They were in this process, as they like to call it, to build this roster with talented players and ultimately get in position to push deep into the postseason and potentially win a championship. And they did it. It felt like the organic way to do it, not dissimilar to how the Golden State Warriors did it. The Golden State Warriors just got a little bit lucky with some of the drafting that went on. But that's an inefficient way to try to win a championship. The more efficient way is to do it the LeBron James way. And this is where Rich Paul comes in. Now, Rich Paul, I don't know what kind of agent he is. I have no idea. He could be a screamer and a yeller and a demanding, and we got to have it this way. If I don't get my way this way, then LeBron's not going to do X, Y, Z. I have no idea. He could be very just conciliatory and say, look, this is what's going to happen. I hear from all reports. Even Rajon Rondo said this a couple days ago. Spent a lot of time with Chris Paul. He spent a lot of time with Chris Paul and said he seems like a great guy. But what he does is carry out the will of LeBron James. And if you didn't read this Sports Illustrated article, you should go read it, because he set this up so that the only place, or one of the only places that he can go, and Anthony Davis in this free agency period that's right around the corner, a year away, in this trade backlog that's happened down in New Orleans, the only place that he can potentially go that's going to work out is the Los Angeles Lakers with his other client, LeBron James. And it's manipulative, and the NBA shouldn't have let it get to this point, but I think it is what it is. We talk about it. It's a storyline. We champion it. It hits the top of every radio show and a lot of TV shows that are talking about sports, because this movement of players is so interesting, and this creation, not development, but creation of a super team or a championship level team is interesting. Rich Paul said, I keep wanting to say Chris Paul. Rich Paul said this just a couple of days ago, and look, he's butchered this exit of Anthony Davis just a little bit. It got ugly during the regular season, as we saw, and it's still a little bit ugly now. But he made it even probably worse for potential suitors by saying there's basically two teams that Anthony Davis will sign a deal with: the New York Knicks or the Los Angeles Lakers. Wherever else he goes, no matter whether it's the Celtics who are competing, whether it's the Bucks, whether it's the Clippers, whether it's the Nets, this could be the 76ers, could be the Trailblazers, wherever he's going to be a free agent in 2020. So anyone who has hopes of getting Anthony Davis and convincing him, it's not going to matter. He's going to be in and be out and bounce after one season. Now, that can work, right? We're seeing it work with the Toronto Raptors right now with Kawhi Leonard. And we don't know where Kawhi is going to go, but that one-and-done thing could work. They're in the NBA Finals, and they're a game away from getting a championship. It could work. It could be interesting. But I'm not sure that it's the right way to go for a lot of these teams. And the only way it makes sense is if it is the Los Angeles Lakers. And this is why. And this is why it's troubling. Rich Paul has this idea, or LeBron has this idea, and it puts itself out through his agent, Rich Paul, that I have 2 or 3 years left of my prime, and I want to win another championship, and I can't do it anywhere else other than L.A., because LeBron, for the first time really in his career, doesn't have control of where he is. He signed a 4-year deal. After 3 years, he can opt out. That opt-out is in 2021. So 2 more seasons, LeBron James is in Los Angeles before he has the opportunity to opt out and go somewhere else and try to win another championship. The only way he's getting one is if he gets the pieces that he needs in Los Angeles. And the way that this is played out, and it's been ugly, and it's been frustrating, and it's been I don't know. There's been barbs back and forth. The only way this plays out the right way is if Anthony Davis ends up in Los Angeles. And since they have the same agent and Rich Paul, it just looks ugly. It just looks like the LeBron James-led agency headed by Rich Paul is manipulating the NBA to get exactly what LeBron James wants. And maybe that's great. But actually, I don't think it's that great. I don't like a top-heavy NBA. I don't like a player-heavy NBA. I want every team to have a chance. I think that's why, in some regards, this Toronto Raptors team is so interesting because they weren't on the radar. They were the team that could never get past the semifinal or the conference championship. And all of a sudden, they're a game away from winning a championship against the power. Right? You like that underdog story. I think ultimately with the Rich Pauls of the world, especially in collaboration with the LeBron Jameses of the world, are taking that underdog out of the conversation. And I don't know if I love that. And if you're the Celtics or you're the Bucks or you're the Clippers or you're the Nets or you're the 76ers, any of these teams that are thinking about going after one of these free agents, is it really that appealing ultimately if you know that you can't go get them, and if you're not ready to win right now, it's a worthless trade for you. It's frustrating in a sense because we end up talking about the same group of guys getting to one place, playing with one player, and that would be LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. Look, if it happens and it works out and Anthony Davis gets to L.A. and LeBron and he win a championship and it feels all good, I mean, maybe we won't think about it and how it went down. The ends will likely justify the means, but it's frustrating to think about if you're all of these other teams who are trying to honestly and truly build a winner, knowing that you don't have a chance to actually build a winner because of the manipulation that goes on behind the scenes by agents and others. I mean, the story that Rich Paul reached out to Adam Silver and basically said, I don't like Luke Walton, and Adam Silver, because Adam Silver's come out and responded to this, said it actually did happen. What the hell is Adam Silver going to do about LeBron James not liking Luke Walton? Well, obviously something, because Luke Walton is no longer the coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, and Magic Johnson, whether he got influence from inside or outside the organization, wanted to fire him. He stepped down before he could. The ends justify the means. LeBron didn't want Luke Walton. Luke Walton is no longer the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. And then there's this other story, which has been denied, but I don't doubt it, that Rich Paul was reaching out to coaches and asking them or interacting, not reaching out maybe, but interacting with coaches, asking them if they wanted to be on Vogel's staff with the Los Angeles Lakers. The fact that the player, and sometimes through his proxy in the agent, is able to manipulate the NBA so far should be a troubling sign. Now, maybe this goes away when LeBron is retired. Maybe this goes away when the superstar isn't as meaningful to teams. If teams start winning, finding ways to win organically as opposed to winning with the superstar, maybe it goes away. But right now, I think this is the norm, at least for the next half a decade or so.